Alright, in this video we're getting into sampling tips and ideas. First of all, if you're wanting to sample some stuff and you need a way to do it, there's a few ways you can sample. The way we do it most of the time is we have one of these. We used to rent these in the past. This is a Zoom H5 handy recorder. We used to rent these in the past. However, we have now purchased this, so now we have it anytime or every time we want to go out and sample. However, I do understand if you cannot afford something like this, there's other smaller, cheaper options for these kind of devices. If you can't do that, it might be a little difficult to do sampling and field recording outside, but there's all kinds of ways you can still sample stuff in your own little studio or whatever it is. One of the ways is plugging this 1/8 inch end into getting something like this and plugging the 1/8 inch end, 1/8 inch end into, as you can see, it's got connectors like this on it, and plugging these from this 1/8 inch end from your audio card on your computer into your audio MIDI interface, using YouTube or some other site to grab your samples from and hitting play on whatever YouTube video and hitting record in your DAW or recording software. That's another way you can do it. We might I might do a little bit of a instructional video of how to do it this way. Not today though, this is just tips and ideas for sampling. If you do not have one of those cables, the other option is if you have a microphone, you can basically, this is the DIY janky way of sampling. You can basically turn on whatever sound source, have the your microphone plugged into your audio MIDI interface and just hitting record in your digital audio workstation or whatever recording software you're using, and having the mic pointed at this computer speakers. That's another way of doing it. But those are some of the ways you can do some sampling. If you are using a Zoom H5 or similar device, you might want to, and if you are going into an environment where it's a little bit breezy or even just outdoors, I would recommend getting a windscreen, because sometimes what can happen is if you're not using a windscreen on this, wind will distort the audio and make these loud fucking annoying sounds when you're trying to pick up samples, whatever you're trying to sample. If you're trying to sample the wind, maybe it doesn't matter, but yeah, I would recommend a windscreen if you are sampling outside. I would recommend a tripod if you're looking for something a little bit more precise, where you're not handling the device and you're not getting any of that movement sound on your device. Just so that it's a little bit more precise. If you're looking for sampling ideas and sources, there's all kinds of different things you can sample. I'm just going to run through a bunch of ideas for you if you're looking for ideas. The first and most obvious one is movies. That is probably the most obvious source for sampling. There's all kinds of different films out there. Out of all honesty, if you are to sample films, I would suggest picking something that is not typically sampled, because who wants to hear the same fucking Full Metal Jacket sample? You know, who wants to hear that for the 1,000th or 10,000th time in every single fucking industrial or agrotech song? I would suggest maybe picking a movie that's not as well known, something that's rare, so that you have something original that nobody else has really utilized. I would also suggest vehicle engines, street ambiances, so like just having your tripod set up with your device on it, if it can be attached to a tripod, and just sitting there and capturing the ambiances out and about along the streets, or even in forests, like catching whatever. Vehicles driving by, people walking by, rain, traffic, people talking on the streets, footsteps, radio scans, so you could hook up your device to the audio outs on your stereo or whatever it is and plug it into your sampling device and sample yourself scanning through the radio stations and grabbing stuff like that. You can also sample mixer feedback loops. This is something that we've done a few times. Feedbacking a mixer, an audio mixer or sound mixer, by creating a loop within the device and then having the out go into your sampling device and just capturing those distortions and noise feedback loops and all that kind of stuff. There's also room ambiances that you could capture, like if you have a stairwell in your building, you can capture people walking down the stairs or people talking in the stairwell, or even room ambiances like in your studio, like maybe you want to capture, I don't know, hitting a metal object on or with a drumstick or something. Another room ambience possibility is a pub, capturing people and stuff within a pub or a coffee shop for that matter. Another sound source or sampling idea is garbage cans, recycling bins, metal objects, bricks smashing into concrete or metal objects, metal posts, rocks on concrete, chain link fences, toolboxes, ammunition kits, blown amps or amps that have fucked up amps. We have a fucked up amp here that I use sometimes was basically blown, the speaker's blown out, but sometimes it's really fun to like plug in a guitar or just capture weird noises and feedback from a blown amp. Tapping on glass, breaking glass, steel pipes. The list could go on and on and on. What I'm just trying to illustrate is that there's a lot of stuff you can sample. Just trying to give you some tips and ideas. Hopefully this gets you started. However, if you do not have the capability to actually do any sampling, there is some things you might want to consider, like free sample sites. There's a site called freesound.org or .com. I'll leave a link in the description of this video so that you can easily access it. There's also other sites that you can grab stuff like movie samples and stuff. There's all kinds of sample packs you can grab from free sites. I might leave some of those in the comment or in the description as well as this video. Anyway, this is just to hopefully help you get started in sampling. There's other ways you can do sampling, like maybe you don't have a sampling device like a Zoom H5, but you have the MPC Live and you have a microphone. You can plug your microphone into this and sample into this device and edit the samples within this device. That's a way of doing it. The benefit of the MPC Live, it doesn't need to work from a power source. You can actually charge it and have it work without having it to be plugged into a power source or whatever. Anyway, those are some ideas and tips. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any questions or comments regarding sampling, or you're looking for ideas, maybe you're limited in what gear you have, I can maybe throw some ideas your way. So leave your questions and comments about sampling in the comment section. If you feel this video has value, please share it. Maybe you have some buddies and you're looking for ideas for sampling, some original sources, stuff that people have not done. Definitely share this with your musician buds. And if you value what's on this channel, please hit that subscribe button and be notified when the next video comes out. So see you in the next video.